everyone, welcome to another episode of Raw Radiant Health, and I'm Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me. So today I want to talk about what to do when people don't approve of your raw food diet, and how to live and socialize and be in scenarios where you're on a raw food diet and everyone else is on a cooked food diet. The first thing I want to talk about or just mention is that I've been vegetarian for over 20 years, and I went vegetarian when it was like the mid-80s, when vegetarianism was like, there weren't many vegetarians out there. It was certainly not mainstream. And I became vegetarian on my own as a little kid, and my whole family ate meat. And I was also an extremely shy child, and I did not like any attention or any focus on me. Like in social situations, all of that. And so it was very difficult for me because, suddenly the attention was on me because I wasn't eating meat. And so over the years I've had to figure out ways of how to maneuver the attention that no one even knows that I'm vegetarian, or to figure things out so that nothing becomes a fuss. Like for me, that was a huge thing, was that I didn't want anyone fussing over me. And I didn't want to be different from the rest, but at the same time, I wanted to keep with, how I want to live my life. So I've learned, over the years, I've learned a lot of ways, and now being a raw foodist, I've also had to learn too of things are a little bit tricky sometimes with either going out for dinner or going to a dinner party, things like that. And also just having some resistance from family and friends that might not necessarily think it's the be-all, end-all. I might think it's kind of strange, a little extremist, or whatever. So the first thing I want to address, and the first tip that I'm going to give you is, you can do whatever you want to do, and that's great. And people will respect it as long as you don't impose your beliefs on anyone else. I've seen it a lot where people get into raw foods or a healthier lifestyle, and suddenly they want to tell everyone what they're doing wrong. And they feel that they're helping, and they want to help. It's all coming from the heart, that they don't want to see their friends eat things that are unhealthy without knowing. But at the same time, it can really alienate people, and it can really be very threatening. No one likes being told what to do. I know when I was a teenager, I drank a lot, I smoked a lot, I ate terrible junk food, and I had a very self-destructive lifestyle. And the last thing I needed was anyone telling me how to live my life and telling me what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. It didn't empower me. It didn't inspire me to live a healthier or a better lifestyle. And in fact, it would sort of push me in a hole even more. And the only way that I changed things for the better was it came from me. It came from me wanting to have a better life, and me being inspired, and me seeing people that I looked up to, and I was like, I want to be like that. And therefore, it pushed me to push myself into a healthier direction. But the last thing you need is anyone imposing their views on another person, because that'll just make them run. And that'll also make them not like you and have resistance towards you. So I just want to emphasize that with the raw foods, that as much as you don't want to see your friends and family eating things that are full of MSG and chemicals and trans fats and all that kind of stuff, sometimes you just gotta do your own thing. Let them do what they need to do, and let them ask you the questions. Don't impose the information on anyone, because it just, a lot of times, as much as we care and want to help others, we can belittle people by doing that. So another thing too is, I also find we determine how people are going to react to our diet. It's not so much the diet, but it's how we present it to people. I've noticed this over and over again, that if I'll approach a friend and be like, I need to tell you something, I know you think this is going to be really weird, and I know that you think this is probably so extreme, but I've been doing this raw food diet, I can assure you that whoever I'm saying that to is going to turn around to me and be like, that is really weird and that is extreme. Do you think this is healthy? I can assure you. But if I were to go to that same person and say, I'm so happy, I have to tell you about, I've been doing this raw food diet and I feel fantastic. I haven't felt this great in my life. That person is going to turn around and they're going to be like, this is great, keep going with it. I assure you. So a lot of times, as much as you might want to warn someone about, like, you know, this crazy thing you're doing, you're feeding them that information and you're telling them that it needs a warning on it. So they're not going to approve of it. So really it comes down to how you present it and how confident you are about it. And even, you know, I want to just say, like, you don't even need to be presenting your diet to anyone. Like me, I like to keep these things on, like, I don't like to talk about it. I hate talking about my diet to people. I don't like, it's like, it's just something I don't like being brought up. And I think this goes back to, like, when I was a kid, of just, like, not wanting that attention. And, you know, but I always have someone, like, whenever I go out for dinner, I always have either a family member or a friend, someone that brings up my raw food diet. And I'm always like, you know, am I going to get through this dinner without anyone bringing it up and me having to explain it to, like, everyone at the dinner table? And in ways, like, it amazed me from the beginning, because I kept it on the low down and everyone would always bring it up, that I always had one person that would bring up my diet at the dinner table and another person at the dinner table asking me for more information on it. You know, and by the end of the meal, them, like, giving me their email address because they want recipes and all that. And I realized it's because I'm not throwing my information on people. Like, I'm just being me and letting other people come to me and ask for the information. It's a huge difference, because the moment you start, like, you know, like, volunteering, you know, your 2 cents in on how they're living their life, they're going to go running. And they're not going to like what you're doing, and they're going to think you're crazy. So that's another thing I've noticed, is let people come to you, and you don't need to tell everyone about your diet. And even the people you're eating with every day. You'd be amazed at how long it takes for people even to realize you're on a raw food diet. They might not ever. They just might think you eat a lot of salads. And do they need to know that you're on a raw food diet? Think about it. And so that comes down to, I want to talk about socializing and going out to eat with people that are eating cooked food. Because this is another thing, like, you know, obviously there aren't many raw food restaurants out there, and if there are, then bring your friends that eat cooked food there. But if you're going out and you're going out with people that are not too into your diet, then don't make a fuss about it. Most restaurants have a salad on their menu, and you just ask for a plain salad, and if they don't have a salad on their menu, call them up beforehand. I did this for over Christmas. My family has Chinese food for Christmas. Okay, they don't do the family get-together thing. We all just go out to a Chinese restaurant. A Chinese restaurant does not have salad, but they have so many vegetables. So what do? Because I don't want to call any attention on me, I call the restaurant up before I go, like day before, and I say, hey, I'm coming for dinner tomorrow night. Can you make sure to, like, you know, put a little salad together for me, you know, with your vegetables, like whatever you got on hand. No problem, easy, you know, like this is nothing. It's not rocket science to put a salad together at any restaurant. They don't mind doing these things. So most restaurants, they have either a salad or fruit. And if you're going somewhere to someone's house, then bring food with you. Bring a beautiful raw dessert, or, you know, and bring your own meal. It's not a big deal. Many people are on different diets these days. There's a lot of people that have, you know, food allergies, all that. So don't be scared to being a little bit different. So I hope these are good tips and they'll help you along. I've got more that I'll share more in the future. Have a fabulous day, you guys. Bye!